Good morning YouTube, how are we? Yeah, hopefully we're all well. Apologies I've not made a video in like 5 months. I've just been so busy with work, training, that I've not actually been able to get around to making a video. That's all. I've made a few videos, but I've just not been happy with the quality either. Excuse the bed sheets. What was I going to say? Meant to go a run this morning. I feel a bit under the weather, to be fair. I think I just need a day off. I've not really rested. I also got an email not long ago to say something exciting's coming. Something new which should help with the race. I won't say too much to now, but I will show you when it comes. It's probably pretty obvious considering the people watch this. I've already told what's coming, but yeah, I'm very excited to get it. What I'll do today is I'll run through my current plan, and then we can obviously see the new item that's came, which should help with the race, like I said. But anyway, hopefully you enjoy the video, and I will keep you updated on what things are going on. I'll run you through my plan and kind of nutrition at the minute. But anyway, good to be back, and I will catch up with you later on. So it's been like a week or so since I made the first clip here about the product that I was getting. It is a new bike, which I will show you. Excuse the angles. It's iPhone cameras. Don't know how to flip, you know. The phone itself is like over $1,000, and they, for some reason, don't have that feature. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. But what I got was the Giant Propel Advanced 2. Excuse me, I've got a cold, so it sounds like I'm, struggling to breathe. Anyway, I got this bike from Giant themselves. I can claim it through work, through benefits and the benefits scheme they've got at my company, which is great. Yeah, I've been out in it quite a few times, cycled to swimming, cycled back. Yeah, it's great. Honestly, the bike just wants to go fast and wants to maintain that speed, and I love it. It's bigger than my current bike, maybe by a few inches. It's a medium large frame, which I think is maybe 56, maybe 58. Don't quote me on it, but that bike behind me is just a bit smaller. The tyres are bigger as well, so that bike, the biggest tyres you can get on it's a 25-inch tyre? That doesn't seem right. But anyway, these ones are 28. I'll figure out what those measurements mean. But yeah, clearly not an engineer, so don't really know. Anyway, the bike's great. The box came, and I'll show you a picture here. The box was massive. The guy carried it with one arm, which I'm quite surprised about. The bike is quite light, so understandable, but the box must have been about 5'8". It was like up to like my shoulder near enough. And I'm like 6 foot, kind of, maybe like 5'11 3/4. I'm like that much off 6 foot. On a good day, I'm 6 foot, and with some nice shoes, I'm just over 6 foot. Anyway, who cares, right? But the bike's great. Honestly, can't complain. It's doing me well. The idea is I'm going to get it connected up to the trainer, because the bike itself is a bit more aero than this one. So I can get down that aero position. It helps with the wind resistance, makes me go faster. Where this bike will just be more of a commuter bike. So when I'm traveling to swimming and back, it's just obviously for commuting purposes. I will take it outside, because as you can see, it's starting to get lovely in Scotland compared to what it was a few days ago when it was snowing. I do talk about that in a few clips coming on. The video I did record originally for this bike didn't save properly, and the camera was all skewed, and it was just a bit of a pain. So the bike itself is great. The only reason I won't use it for commuting purposes is because I'm scared it'll get stolen, or somebody will key it, they'll do something stupid, and it's not a cheap bike. Where that one, I'm not as worried about. It is about 10 to 15 years old. I got it second hand. It cost me £80. It's done me well, and I don't mind if it gets a bit beat up. the frame on that's like aluminium or whatever. This one, I think it's got a carbon fibre post. It's really light. I'm just worried that if I leave it sitting, somebody will damage it, because there's idiots out there. But anyway, we'll jump back to the past in these next clips, and yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. So, it's been a few days, probably like 4 or 5 since I last made the last video, last clip of me getting the new bike. Excuse me, I'm just at a run. Also excuse the skiing helmet. It is, well, ski snood. It's 1 degree here in Scotland. Just look at that view. That'll do for a wee thumbnail or something, but anyway, it's 1 degree in Scotland in April, which is fucking mental. And put a wee clip here. That was yesterday. It was snowing pretty heavily. Then it would hailstone and snow again. Then the sun would come out and then it snowed again. Thankfully no snow now, but it is pretty icy. Wednesday, so today's Monday. Tomorrow it's to be 18 degrees. How could it go from 1 degree to 18? It's mad. Absolute madness. But anyway, we are currently out of run. Excuse the weird angles. I'm just trying to get used to running and filming at the same time. But yeah, new bike. New bike's great. Love it. You can feel that it wants to go fast, and then when you go fast, it holds that speed. Changing gears, excellent. Can't complain. Shifts through them really easily. It's got disc brakes, so the braking on them, they did squeak at first, the brakes, but I think that was just because it had that factory sealant on it or whatever. So as I started using it, it stopped squeaking as much. What was I going to say? I haven't got to use it as much as I wanted to due to the weather. It's either been a storm with like, I don't know, extreme winds. I went out on it on Saturday actually, and it was raining in the wind when I was cycling down a straight path. As you can see here, this road to be exact, when the wind hit me, it pure moved the bike a wee bit, so I've not really had the opportunity to really go out and test it to its max. So hopefully this week I'm gonna get that. It's meant to be really nice tomorrow, so I'm thinking in the morning I might take it out for an hour or two and just really put some work in, get used to that aero position. But anyway, I'm gonna get back to my run because I'm slacking. I'm only 1.5k in and it's 11 minutes, so that's kind of poor. But I'll catch you with the next clip. I'll run through my current plan. Currently 14 weeks out till my Ironman, so I'll see you shortly. Hello. Hi. Don't know why I'm being weird. I think just being on camera pure makes me a bit nervous and feel robotic a wee bit, so apologies. And also I'm knackered. I just came back from a swim, did 1,175 metres. Just an easy day by the pool. Well, I say easy, I still struggle in the pool. I'm like a bloody weight. However, it felt easier today. I felt more relaxed, felt like I could have done more, but I was kind of stuck for time. So due to when my pool opens and when I need to get back so I can get to work, so I cycle there and back as well. So as we're just about to end off the video, sorry, my arms are pure knackered from swimming and I'm just weak. Wanted to take you through kind of my plan. So yeah, we'll just run into it. So I'm looking down, by the way, because I've wrote down my schedule for the week because I've got it on my phone, but I'm using my phone to record, so pain in the arse to go back and forward. So Mondays I run between 8 and 12k. That's just an aerobic run. So essentially I'm keeping my heart rate in that zone 3 area. Try to build obviously endurance, but keep myself from being tired. Obviously it's colder here in Scotland than now. It's starting to get warmer, but Monday it was 1 degree, so I do need to wrap up a bit, and then that causes me to kind of overheat in a sense, so I do need to take it a bit easier. However, now that it's coming into summer, I can wear less clothes and I can go a bit harder in my runs essentially. So that's what I do in the morning. I get up at like 5, I have some porridge, some electrolytes, and then I go on my run. Normally that takes me about an hour to an hour and 20 minutes, depending how far I go. And I could do it quicker, but like I said, because I'm wrapped up a lot, I don't want to be sweating loads, and then it's pure knackering me out more than it should. And then on my lunch, obviously my work lunch, I do a workout, 30-45 minutes, just strength training, tends to be a full body. Tuesdays, that's where I'll do my bike, so I do a 15/3 split. So essentially what I'll do is I'll hold my max kind of wattage, which is like 185 for 15 minutes. Now obviously holding that power for that amount of time is quite hard on the body, so it does range between 160 and 185, but the idea is just to try and maintain that power. I do that indoors through Zwift. With Zwift, you can't really stop pedaling or else it stops the workout, so you do have to keep going. So that does make it a bit more taxing, but once again, it'll make me better, stronger and fitter. And cycling into swimming and back today, I definitely felt that. Also, I was using my new bike, so it just feels great. And normally that takes about an hour to an hour and a half, depending if I do the intervals by 3 or by 2. It really depends how I'm feeling. What do I mean by 3 or 2? Just sets. So I'll do 15 minutes, 3 sets, or 15 minutes, 2 sets. That's it. Zwift does all the workout plan for you, so essentially I don't need to do anything. It's already set up. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold, so apologies. And then in the evening, I play squash, so that's about an hour. It's quite intense. However, I think I do about a K to like a K and a half. I don't really count it as a workout. However, I don't count it towards my triathlon training, I should say, but I do burn a lot of calories, so I do have to try and eat those calories back. I tend to burn between 450 and 600 calories, depending how intense it is. Once again, it's getting warmer. We're in a hall. The squash hall's open, but it's really warm, so you sweat loads, and once again, I need to replenish all those fluids. Wednesdays, I do swimming, so I've just started back swimming twice a week, which is annoying because next week I'm away to London, so I won't be able to maintain this kind of program. So today I do 10/25 meters, so I do up and down 10 times, and normally that gets me 250 meters. The aim today was to try and have an easier swim. It's more technique focused. I did 1,175 meters. So I still maintained the 10/25, but I took a slower pace. I made sure I was kicking properly, trying to turn my head to breathe rather than lifting my head, and making sure that my rotation, my arms were coming in and I wasn't just pure slapping the water. Felt more relaxed today. It felt easier. Like I said, I think I could have went longer if it weren't for the fact I had to get back to work, eat some food, and obviously drink more water because I'm trying to make up from the squash the day before. In the mornings, each day I'm always having porridge and I'm always having some form of water or electrolytes. It depends on the severity of my workouts. Then afternoon on a Wednesday, I'll do a run. That's just 5k, easy run, keep my heart rate about 130 beats per minute. Essentially just moving the legs and building up that kind of endurance again, but this time it's just more focused on taking it easy and not sweating too much. Thankfully, because it's in the afternoon, it tends to be warmer here, so I don't need to wrap up. I can literally go out in like a long sleeve t-shirt, some shorts, and that's kind of does me. Thursdays, that's my bike again. That's where I'll do my sweet spot training. Essentially, this is about 55 minutes. What I'm doing is you ramp up your power. Zwift does all the calculations, which is great. And yeah, so you do a 10-minute warm up and then it starts ramping up your power. And I think it's like 4 minutes worth. So you'll go between 150, 155, 170, 175. So it never reaches that kind of top threshold. It's always at 175 at the most. And it does, like I said, 55 minutes. Then in the afternoon, it's just a run again. This one is interval training. At the moment, I'm just doing 5K. So what I'll do is I'll try and run anywhere between 1K and not, actually I'll say it's 6K because normally I do a 1K warm up, just gentle, get the legs and the blood moving. And then what I'll do is I'll try and run a K as fast as I can. Normally I hit about 3 or 4K. I'm too knackered, so then I'll change it to 500 meters. And I'll rest anywhere between a minute to 3 minutes in between sessions. The idea is to get up to 10 to 15K when it comes to interval training, but right now 6 does me well. Friday, right now I don't have anything in the morning because it's quite intense from all the bike sessions. However, I'm tempted just to do an easy spin in the morning, something anywhere between 30 and 40 minutes, and keep my power outage between 120 and 130, but keep the cadence up high, so how fast I move my legs, keep that at about 90. Just to, once again, keep the blood moving and not get pure stiff. In the evenings on a Friday, I tend to swim. Once again, these will be easier sessions. The last 2 sessions were quite intense. I was trying to do it as fast as I can. However, I got up to a 1,200 or 1,050 meters, I think, last time. So that means for the swim for the week, I should be doing over 2,000 meters. The idea is to try and get up to 2,500 to 3,000 meters. But over time, obviously we'll build that up. I am about 14 weeks out, so, you know, it's coming in fast. Saturday, I've got 2 sessions. So I do a long ride, so that's anywhere between an hour and a half to 2 hours. And essentially I want to try and do about 50, 60 or 70K if I'm doing the indoor trainer. That's because when you're doing the indoor trainer, you're using Zwift. If you stop pedaling, like I mentioned before, that slows down and stops the workout. So they say when you're doing indoor Zwift training, when you do 70, you're kind of doing 85, 90, which is great. Obviously, with the warmer weather coming, the idea is eventually I'll take my bike outside and I'll do 2 to 3 hours outside, trying to get up to 100K to 110, 15K. Obviously, this will be switched every 2 to 3 weeks. So Saturday, I'll then do 40K on the bike or 50, and then I'll do a 10K brick session straight after. So I'll run 10K after. On the days I do my long rides and don't do the brick session, Sundays, they'll be my long run. So the idea is to build that up. So at the moment, I've got it up to 14K. Should have done 16 last week, but I was busy. So this week I'll do 17 just to make up for it. Next week will be 18. The following week will be 20. And then at that point, I'm basically running at half marathon. So doing that a few times, running 21K. For the full week, that'll take me, I think it's, what's that? Let's say I do 8K on the Monday, 2 5Ks, that's 18. And then I do a 20K, that's 38K. That's more than enough to build up my legs. The bike rides, I must be doing over 100K as long as I stick to this sort of plan. And then the pull sessions, like I mentioned, I'll be doing anywhere between 2.5 to 3K, hopefully, or 300 meters. But yeah, so that's the kind of plan I've got set out there now. 14 weeks in, by the time we get 2 weeks out, everything will taper down. So I won't be doing as much endurance. And then that'll kind of set me up for the Ironman. I'm in London next week, so I will record how I kind of do my sessions down there. Unfortunately, I can't swim down there because the hotel I normally stay at is too expensive. and they have a pool, and all the other hotels that have pools are too far away from the office and I can't be arsed trekking it. It also means I would need to carry all my wet, excuse my hair, it also means I would need to carry all my wet stuff, which I just can't be arsed doing. So normally when I go down, those are bike and run focused, as long as I can get in a gym for the bike sessions. But anyway, I will take you through that next week. I'm away down Monday to Wednesday, and I'll take you through that kind of training cycle, and then what I'll do to make up for it when I come back. But that's been 11 minutes. As I said, sorry I'm knackered, or sound knackered. This week's just catching up on me with the training and a bit of a cold. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Sorry it's been so long since I've made one, and I will try and get back on the weekly schedule. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed. Please like it, or don't. Helps me out if you like it, but if you don't enjoy it, then don't like it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you next week.